So hello and welcome to Veterinary friends. Initially I would like to wish you all a very happy Holi and I hope you all are enjoying the festival of colors. Today I have with me Dr.Nawas sir. He is a civil servant and today is very special because he is a student of veterinary science and his optional was also veterinary science. So today you all will get a deep insight about how we can clear this exam using vet science as an optional. So without any delay, let's start our video. I welcome you, sir.
Only to you and your subscribers. Thank you for inviting because I would like to share my journey of civil services because I think if you are qualified, you have to contribute to the coming aspirants also.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So initially, I would like you to please kindly introduce yourself.
Mohammed Nawaz. Actually, I am from Kargil, Union Territory of Ladakh, and I was born and brought up in Kargil only. And I did my schooling up to class 10th in Kargil. Then after that, for my secondary education, 11th, 12th, I went to Srinagar. Then after that, I got selected in bachelor's in veterinary science in SKUAST, Kashmir. After that, then I took 1 year break for preparation of civil services. Simultaneously, I was preparing for post-graduation. So I got selected in Indian Veterinary Research Institute as for poultry science. Then after that, everyone wished to have that age to have certain employment. So I was selected as assistant manager in Jammu Kashmir Gramin Bank. Though I didn't join, but for security purpose, I just got selected. Just I joined and I didn't went to the duties. Then after that, I got selected in the veterinary assistant surgeon in the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. And I continued till 2019. After that, I got selected in UPSC Civil Services 2019 exam. As far as my civil services journey is concerned, I started during the final years of my exam. In my civil service journey, I have given four interviews, and I got selected in my second interview of 2019. That's my short journey.
Okay, I must say, sir, that's a quite elaborate journey. You did many things in between, and definitely, sir, as you said, that plan B is necessary, and that was the reason that you went for PG and you also opted a job. So, sir, as you said that you did PG, and sir, today many veterinarians want to join the civil services because they are seeing that their seniors are doing well in this field also. So, sir, what is your opinion regarding whether they should do PG or they should not do PG?
It depends on individual to individual, but after this, I would like that all of you or all the budding aspirants should learn a lesson from all of my journey that you should not directly go into this post graduation just after UG. If you're planning to prepare for the civil service, at least you should give 1.5 years or 2 years for the civil service. Then after that, at a certain age, everyone's mind, there's a wish for a plan B because it's for a security purpose or some mental stability. Then after 2 years, you can go for you can simultaneously prepare for the plan B. But in those 1.5 years or 2 years, you should fully dedicate those time for your preparation. For that, with the purpose that you should get hold of the exam, the syllabus, the pattern of the exam. So if you are simultaneously into your plan B, so you can prepare, you can attempt the exams during your job or some other post-graduation. If you directly go into PG, because it will dilute your time, you cannot focus on both your PG as well as in the civil services. So my advice is to give a time of 1.5 years or 2 years. Then after that, you can opt for your plan B.
Okay, correctly said, sir. It is an advice which you have experienced by doing it yourself. That
Yes,
while
yes.
PG some of the time gets diverted, which we could use for preparing civil services.
I would like to add one more point because our PG is not like any other academic PG because in which we have to continuously give seminars, then that ORW, then thesis, then we have to do some research work for half of 1 year or 6 to 8 months. So because that requires a dedication, so it would be injustice to that PG also if you continue to prepare civil services. So you can't write in two boards during those times. After 2 years, you can do.
Yes, sir, truly said. So, sir, did you join any coaching for this preparation, or it was self-study? Did you did?
And after my graduation, joined this coaching for a few months, 5 6 months. But then after when I got to know about the exam, then I left the coaching. Then I thought ki, if you get to know about the exam, the syllabus, then you can prepare by yourself. That was just short part of my civil service with the coaching.
Okay, that means that you prepared by yourself for this exam. Okay, so sir, what was your initial strategy just as soon you decided that okay, I'm going to prepare for this exam? So what were the first things you looked for?
Initially, we used to go through this NCRT. So during my internship time, I went through all these NCRTs and I used to check out all these newspapers frequently. So at that time, I was not having any access to other resources, but my main resource was NCRTs and newspapers initially.
Okay. So, sir, as we all know that students have difficulty in reading newspapers, and also then they are confused about how to make notes out of it. So, how did you crack this part?
Actually, I was very fond of reading newspaper from my not schooling during my UG only. So it was not quite difficult for me to read this newspaper. But later in the preparation, I found a what the cheat code or a what the crack for for reading this newspaper. If someone is not comfortable or someone is not understanding how to read newspaper, they can read a newspaper for 1.5 hours. Then after that, they can search in any YouTube channel from any type where they summarize those news in half an hour. So what are there are two advantages. Firstly, you get to know about which news is important and which news is not important, and also they summarize the news and which points are important. They summarize, and also they give some sort of background to those topics. So for starters, I would advise that for first 4 3 4 months, when you get hold of the newspaper, you should go through this in YouTube of the newspapers for 3 4 months. Then after that, once you get into this thing, you will automatically know that what to read, what not to read, and how to make notes. As far as notes is concerned, I usually try to find out those topics as per the mains paper, GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I would collect those facts and figures or some good lines and paras and make notes for those part, and I would collect them. And then after that, once I read those topics from static part, I would usually add those current affair points on those static topics.
Okay. So, sir, this you did in a daily routine that you read the newspapers and then whatever important you found, you just simply add it into your GS notes.
Yes, yes. I used especially during my 2018-17. Yes, initially I was not having an idea how to make notes. Just I would just read and throw away that newspaper.
Okay. So, sir, as we all know that note making is also a tough nut to crack, because generally we tend to make another book of a book. So, sir, how did you make notes? Or, sir, some people believe that we make notes in book only. We underline it, those parts, and we revise it so many times that we can complete the book in one day. So, sir, what was your strategy? You made different notes for mains or prelims, or it was in your books only that you consolidated your notes?
For prelims, I didn't make any notes, but just I highlighted the points. For mains, when I was in Jamia Residential Coaching Academy, we were a group of three, four friends, we divided the portions of syllabus to make notes, and we used to share with each other. So some people would highlight, but I won't prefer this highlighting part for the mains, because then it's also psychological part ki bhai this much of book I have to reverse, even though you have highlighted the important points only. But if you make this crux small points, you would revise 2 days, 1 day before the exam also, and by revising those important points, you would also write those important points only in the exam also, which would be helpful for fetching you good marks. Otherwise, what we would say, if one point is for 3 4 words, we would write for 3 4 lines, so it would take space as well as the time also. So note helps you to reduce the time of writing in the exam, as also to remember the things very easily.
Okay, so sir, I would like you to please kindly give a demo. How did you do it? Suppose we are talking about polity. So if we have polity, so how can we make its notes in consolidated form?
Just like any polity, you have to write those important introduction for the topic. You would, for introduction, you would quote some important political quote, or some sayings of Gandhiji, or some Constituent Assembly debate points. Then after that, for that relevant topic, you would add those important articles. Then what are the laws associated with those? Then some expert opinion also. Then you would briefly conclude those topic in a very positive note. That's so it depends on the type of the topic. But my main crux is ki don't write too much. Just write those important points, like articles for the polity, important law, or important provisions of that particular law, which provisions are that are important. So you have to write only those. If you have read 2 3 times, you will automatically understand ki bhai, what I have to write after those article, that important point only. So you have to write the key points only.
Okay, so sir, the next thing is that you said that you chose vet science as an optional. So sir, please kindly elaborate that why did you choose it as an optional, and what was your strategy regarding this subject? How can we prepare in a best way for veterinary science optional?
First of all, thing is that I have given 5 years for a particular subject. So why I would like to waste those 5 years? First point. Second point was, I was comfortable with this subject very well, and also that I main thought was that, yeah, first of all I have to go through this general study, which is very new for me, because the bulk of the syllabus. So after that, if I have to choose one another subject of optional, then I have to give one more time for any other option, which would also be very new for me. So I was not very comfortable with these art subjects, and so I thought ki in technical subjects, if you hit the main points, it would be a very scoring. And also in veterinary science, whosoever the seniors I have met, Dr. Bilal, Dr. Shahid Iqbal Chaudhary, and Dr. Owais from our areas, Jammu and Kashmir, they had very scored well, 316, 300, some one more senior I had met, Doctor from Karnataka, scored 360 something. So I thought he is scoring also. So, and also other one more consideration for considering veterinary options is that I have analyzed the papers, that in every optional out of 500 marks, there would be some 50 60 marks that would not be directly in part of syllabus, that candidates would not be having any idea about. But if you are from that particular background, you would surely attempt some or the other part of that, those 40 50 marks. For these reasons, I opted for veterinary sciences. My strategy was not that complex, but my strategy was, first I went through the syllabus, then I collected those relevant material like books, notes, whatever I had in the UG. Then I went through the newspaper of last, during any syllabus, I went through almost 20 years previous year question paper. Then I collected subject wise. So through that, I got an idea how they ask. But now I advise to the aspirants that they should go through the previous year question of last 5 years, both from the civil service exam, also from the Indian forest exam, because they ask the question from civil services to the forest first. So there is very usually a type of they repeat the questions in both exams. So I collected all those questions, question papers. So accordingly, I prepared. As far as the note making, during initial part I was not having an idea how to make notes, but later on I made notes for some subjects like veterinary, epidemiology, medicine, surgery, for which the material was just segregated. For nutrition, genetics, physiology, I was having that consolidated notes of the UG or some from some university or here and there. So I didn't prepare notes. But for diseases, this and all, I prepared short notes. And for LPT also, I just read from directly from the book, that standard book of the milk and standard book of the LPT, both meat technology as well as the slaughter house wala. So all these, I didn't make the notes, but in some segregated, but I made the notes.
Okay. So, sir, did you have your notes till now?
Yes, I have some notes I have with me. If someone wants, but it's very bulky to make PDF of those.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, Doctor, what do you prefer that recently? Two of our seniors also chose they are selected in civil services only, and one's optional was anthropology and one's optional was geography, and your optional is veterinary science. So what do you think that which one is more scoring according to you? Because anthro is also becoming a choice for veterinarians, because they think it is related to veterinary. As MBBS, those students who are doing MBBS, they are also opting for anthro. So many of us veterinarians also thinking of opting anthro. So what would you advise to them?
In yes, anthropology, some part of the syllabus coincides like that, cell division, that evolution and all. We are very well versed from our 12th class only. So, but it depends upon how you are comfortable with your subject. Some people give the reasoning that veterinary science is very bulky, we don't have the resource, easily available resources and all. But as far as I see that veterinary science is a very good scoring subject. If you are very strong in your veterinary science during your UG times, you have another advantage. You can, because I have seen a lot of candidates who had attempted the exam with me, even though they have not qualified because they were not well with the GS. But in veterinary science, they would easily score 280 plus, 270 plus. So because in UG they had a good OGPA and all that, so they would also not seriously prepare this veterinary science. But for other subjects, if you are not comfortable with the veterinary, then it's very dangerous also, because the syllabus is very huge, very bulky. But if you are comfortable, if you have the resource of your UG, the notes given by a teacher, they are like a diamond for us, because in UG the teachers usually prepare the notes from consulting different 2-3 books. So they are a very important source of for the mains exam of the veterinary science. So, but what subject you choose, it's depend upon your comfort. As far as scoring is concerned, I think in every subject there are candidates who score very high. Very score high. People usually blame ki a pub ad is usually score less, or geography is score. But if you see the higher level of the candidates, those who are selected from geography, they easily score 280, 290, or even 300. So it depends how you grasp, how you are comfortable with the subject. So it all depends on your personal choice. But if you have worked hard for 5 years, I would suggest ki bhai, why to waste those 5 years?
Definitely, sir. So, sir, how did you practice answer writing for veterinary science? Did you join any test series, or it was the 5.5 year experience that you used for it?
No, I neither did a practice for answer writing for veterinary science, neither I joined in test series. But I usually had a what we can say, a design of answer for a particular topic. How I would write if this answer comes into the exams. For technical questions, I would prefer for flow chart, in LPT you usually know in milk and all this flow chart and all, and from other anatomy type I usually draw the diagram also. And in nutrition I would usually hit those important bullet points of that DCP, TDN and all those technical points. That was the main technique. I didn't do any writing practice, but I collected the previous year question paper and I tried to attempt those previous year question paper, which gave me an idea how to attempt those question in that particular time period of 3 hours.
Okay. So, sir, now moving towards GS subjects preparation. That how did you prepare for GS 1, 2, 3 and 4? What was your strategy regarding these subjects? Did you make notes? Did you join any classes for them? So, what was your strategy for these subjects?
To be honest, initially 1 2 years I was not having any idea how to prepare that. I would randomly see the resource from any coaching material, like just like any other aspirants does in our country. But once I got into this Jamia RCA, we had a group of 4 to 5 friends. We usually divided ki bhai, for this portion you would make notes, he would make notes, and we would share the notes. So in that we would try to write the important points only, so that it doesn't get bulky. So that was the main thing for my GS.
Okay. So, sir, as you said that you joined Jamia RCA. So, sir, how Jamia played an important role in your cracking this exam? How can we enter into Jamia RCA, and what are the advantages of joining RCA or ORN?
I think for me it was joining RCA was after that. Actually, I was preparing during my post graduation in IVRA, but during that time I had to handle my research also, thesis preparation, seminar preparation simultaneously. I used to prepare for it, but in that I was in my own single cocoon, or we used to have 3 4 aspirants from that in the IVRA itself who were preparing, but they were also had not having any idea about, very less idea about the exam. But we would not gel like aspirants because they had their own commitments of research, so they were not much of grouping in that area. But once I got to know about the Jamia RC and other similar institutes like Jamia Hamdard Residential Coaching Academy, Hamdard Study Circle, only after PG. So I first qualified to JHRCA. Then after that I qualified for my 2018 prelims. Through that I went into Jamia RCA, Jamia Millia in Jamia University. That was a turning point for me. Main advantage is that in that particular institute you get the candidates from different socio-economic backgrounds or different levels of aspirants. Ones those who have not even attempted the prelims, ones who have attempted or qualified prelims for 2 3 times, written mains for 2 3 times, ones who some candidates who have given interview for 2 3 times, and some are candidates who come back on leave from other services to improve their rank. So you would get the candidates from different with different experience and different backgrounds. And also if you have a good, if you are very socializable person, you would easily make a good group of 4 to 5 students. From that you would get the idea how to prepare the examination, and also for a particular topic if you discuss, you would get diverse points. What do you would we would usually did, main thing in my Jamia RCA was that friends were helpful to sharing notes. Other was answer writing practice. We would not go and join this answer writing test series in ORN or that. We would just do that final test series for time management only. But the main answer writing would be done every, especially in those 3 months of mains preparation after prelims. Every day we would practice 6 to 7 questions from previous year question paper, or from previous year test series of those particular institute. We would get the photo state and write those. We would make a circle of 4 to 5 friends. We would write those answers in a very time bound, 10 marks in 7 minutes and 15 marker in 9.5 minutes. So after that we would discuss ki bhai, what point you have included, what was your structure. So you would get a diverse type of answer writing from 4 to 5 candidates. Then you would prepare a model answer. So you would know ki bhai, in this question I would have written this part also, this part. So it beautifies your answer. That was the main thing which I got from the Jamia RCA.
Okay. And
As far as other advantage was that it is very financially very suitable for you. In those time in 2019-20, I think around 1800 rupees or 2500 was the mess bill and other pocket money. You would, I think, easily with 5-6,000 per month, you would easily survive in those in Delhi itself. Otherwise, if you prepare outside Jamia or any other like institute in ORN or Jamia in this Mukherjee Nagar, I think for a comfortable room, for comfortable food, you would easily, I think you would require 15 to 20,000. I think it would not be possible for any normal Indian middle class aspirant to afford those things. This was the advantage of Jamia RC. Regarding the entry, there are two ways. As far as I know, maybe now they must have modified, but when I was there were two ways of entry. First of all, their own exam. I think March, April they publish the notification. June, July they hold the exam all over India, almost some 15-20 cities. So exam pattern was there would be a prelims like objective paper, and there would be essay. I think one or two essay. Then after that, there's certain cutoff. You will be called for the interview. If you qualify the interview, then you would get the entry into this Jamia RCA for 1 year. Other way was if you qualify prelims outside Jamia, then they would get directly give the admissions to those candidates for the mains. Then if you once you get into this institute, you would get the idea how to survive in this institute.
Okay, so it means that's a Jamia RCA is a very good place where students can prepare for this exam.
Yes.
Okay.
One more thing, Jamia RCA is for SC, ST, minorities and women. Women from any category. There's no restriction for any category or any particular religion or not. So women from any. So Jamia was, I would say, it's a microcosm of India, because you would get people from Jammu Kashmir to Kerala, from Gujarat to Bengal, from all different languages, from all different countries, from all different regions. So you would see a small India in that Jamia RCA also.
Definitely, sir. It gives us an atmosphere of preparing for civil services, yes, because there you will meet everyone.
Yes.
Okay. So, sir, now we have talked about the things about note making, about where you studied for it. So, sir, what was your prelims strategy? How did you prepare for prelims? What was your strategy 1 month before, 10 days before prelims? And yeah, first we'll talk about prelims, then we'll talk about CSAT.
Prelims during my initial preparation also what I would read all those standard textbooks and that current affair from this Vision Eyes, Forum Eyes and all different institute monthly on this. But I think somewhere I got an idea that if you are not getting hold of the previous year question papers or that solutions, you will not get the idea about the prelims. But usually in prelims there is a untold structure. There are questions about 55, for some 45, 50, 60 questions that every normal aspirant would attempt. Then after that, there would be some 20 questions, 25 questions. For that, you have to have some intelligent guess. We have to carefully answer those questions with some intelligence or some tricks. And some 5 to 10 questions which are not, you cannot attempt those questions. So my main quote for the cracking my prelims, I have qualified prelims for 5 times continuously. Main thing was I used to prepare my previous year question papers and their solutions. Because why that explanation is important, you will get to the idea about that why examiner has asked these particular questions. If you just see the question and see the answer, key option 3 and all, you will not get the idea why once you get into the details of that explanation, you would usually get in any book. So am I audible?
Yes.
So you would get the idea why this examiner is asking question, what would be the next probable question from this particular topic, and from that you would get idea key from your notes or any standard book how you would prepare. So reading the previous year question paper and then solution was the main important thing. And so for time management or better revision, I used attempt this standard test series from all these coaching institutes. So for the time management also to get the for better revision. So previous year question paper, test series, and revision. Because in prelims, until unless you are not clear about that particular answer, you should not attempt. Because if you attempt, if you got wrong, you will have a negative marking is the main issue. So revision is the most important thing. During last 10 days or last 1 month, revision was the most important thing. And also what I would do, the test series which I have attempted, the explanation which I have read from those test series, I would revise those also. Test series is not like that you attempted, see your score कि 80 plus आ रहे हैं, you got 120, then you throw away. No, you have to revise those test series also, because those institutes have prepared carefully those question also, and they have carefully prepared those explanation also. So you have to revise those test series answers also.
Okay. So one thing I would like to ask that suppose we are doing PYQs. So if can we make short notes of that PYQs? That okay, now I know that these questions I was not able to attempt, so now I am making short notes of this so that I only revise these questions and not again turn the book again.
It depends on your comfort. If you say ki, this question I know this answer, this explanation, I don't need any revision further, so you can take the notes of those important points where you were not comfortable then. Now to make you better comfortable, you have to revise again, so you can make notes. This depends. Some just mark and revise, just some make note out of it.
Okay.
But no, the PYQ should not be with the aim of that ki this question might be repeated. Very less questions are repeated. PYQ should be with the aim that why this examiner is asking this question, and why you will only get from and what could be a next probable question from this topic or related topics. That should be the main idea for studying the previous year question paper and then explanation, to get hold of the mind of the examiner.
Okay, very rightly said, sir, that we must solve PYQ to know why this question came into examination. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, sir, the interview is amongst the most important part of this examination. So, what was your strategy for interview?
My interview was mostly predictable because my background, actually I'm from Ladakh, so they would get very of few candidates from Ladakh or very less candidate from Ladakh, so they would be curious to ask from Ladakh. So second option is that from veterinary science only they would get very less candidates, so it was more of a predictable. So you should not worry about the type of questions what they would ask. First of all, main thing is you should go into the that particular room with confidence, come out with confidence. You have to be very honest with them. You have to be very crisp and clear with them. You should not beat around the bush type of things. So that was the main thing there, and with confidence. That is the main thing for the interview preparation.
Okay, so sir,
and it's also about luck, because usually I see how a group of 5 person can judge a person 20-25 minutes. So some things you have to give into your luck also. Before preparation, you can give few mocks if you are comfortable, 3-4 mocks also.
Okay, so sir, did they ask questions from veterinary to you?
Yes, all of my 4 interviews, I think 40 to 50% of my interview was surrounding around this veterinary science.
So what kind of questions were they asking?
Normal question, just like during COVID times, they would ask how this COVID originated from these bats. During there was some outbreak of avian influenza. Can we eat the chicken of infected from the avian influenza? What is the process if you have to eat? Are those food products safe for those? Or what are the common diseases of animals, poultry on all over India? Or they would ask some strategic question. If you are in a particular post, what would be your strategy for improving the animal husbandry sector of the country and all this? So during my interview initially I got selected. One thing clicked in my favor was that I prepared this annual reports of Animal Husbandry Department of Government of India. So I prepared all those stats. What was the Government of India strategies? So there was one madam. I think she might have worked in this our that particular department in Ministry of Animal Husbandry and Agriculture. She was asking questions which were very similar to the topics which were in that particular report only. I think that was very advantageous. In that interview, I got the good marks as well as I got selected in that interview. So it was a luck for me. I think what is strategy of the government of India? How to
Okay,
improve milk production? What were the breeding strategies of government of India? What are the strategies government of India adapted to for the prevention and control of the diseases? What are the latest programs government of India is adopting? So these all what are the latest technology government of India is trying to introduce into the farmers? So all I was having the idea what government of India is planning. So I think she also liked that.
Okay. So, sir, as you said that you went for interview 4 to 5 times, and as we all know that this is a very exhausting journey. So, how did you cope up with all the pressure, all the anxiousness? Hoga, nahi hoga, what will happen? So, how did you manage all this? And today you are selected. So, everyone wants to know that what was your planning for this all?
Just like Mahendra Singh Dhoni would usually say that you should not focus on the results, you should focus on the process. That was one mantra. Actually, in the later part of my preparation, I got to know. And being anxious is normal. It's not like that ki with I'm anxious, then I have problem. No, being anxious is normal. What should you have studied? Ki how to cope up with this anxiety, how to overcome this strategy. That should be for that your friend circle who is preparing for this exam, or your family members, or and also the reason why you are preparing. That gives you to cope up with this anxiety. Otherwise, being anxious is very normal. Even interview members also know that yeah, this person has worked so much hard and he's come in front of us after so much work. So he's supposed to be anxious, but you have to overcome that. You have to that's the most important thing.
Okay, sir, did you not try for the state civil services examination, for the state administrative
Yes,
examination?
I tried twice. In first, I couldn't qualify the prelims. Second, I qualified up to interview, but simultaneously was selected in the CSE 2019. So I didn't went for the interview, but I reached up to interview in state service also.
Okay, so sir, what's your advice to those children who are preparing for both of them simultaneously? Should they prepare? Should they focus on starting 2 years on only CSE, or should they do these two things simultaneously, or that is state also and UPSC also?
No, it depends upon the pattern of exam. In Jammu and Kashmir, now Ladakh is not don't have any exam pattern, but in Jammu and Kashmir they recently changed the exam pattern similar to the UPSC. So that if you are preparing for UPSC, you are simultaneously preparing state PSC also. If the pattern is same, then it should not be any question for you. I should prepare for state or now it depends on what are the exam schedules. That should be one part of the worry. Otherwise. It depends on your like, but if you are prepared for the UPSC, I don't think that state PSC would be an issue. That would be some issue regarding the pattern, regarding the examination pattern, writing pattern. It would be an issue. But if you are aiming for a big thing, you should directly go for the big thing.
Okay. So, sir, what was the amount of time you dedicated for it? How many hours did you study? Normally, students have a thing is then in mind that we should study for 16 to 17 hours or 10 hours. So, what was the average time you studied for?
Time was time. I cannot quantify the time. But usually, actually, I would. What I remember is that I usually prepare during the mains 3 months of exam and prelims 2 3 months before. In RCA we used to wake up around 6:30. Then after namaz we would directly go into the library. Then till breakfast we would study for 1.5 hours. Then after breakfast, you would take up the newspaper. Then till 1.5 1 p.m. Then after that, 2 hours more, and then you would take a break of 1.5 hours to play cricket or something. And after this evening, you used to prepare for 2-3 hours, and then you would sleep around 10:30. That was the usual time. You would never quantify how much hour it would take. It depends what was your target. If you have a target ki bhai asked that I have to finish nutrition this portion, then you have to finish that portion. So if you have to target it today in GS, I would finish science and technology. It depends on that. And the number of hours would increase as the mains exam comes closer. And I would advise the students that you should not put pressure on yourself in this during the initial part of your preparation. You should come into your preparation very slowly, 6 hours, 5 hours, because from the starting, if you study with 16, 17 hours, you will be exhausted by the time you are into the mains examination. You should be at your peak once you are during your mains exam only. So you should have the same energy, same vigor during the mains exam. So initially you should go with 5 or 6 or 7 hours, then gradually at the last point you will automatically study 15, 16 hours, because you know, yeah, that much of bulk of syllabus is pending, so you have to study that. So I cannot quantify the particular time, but whatever the study, you should preserve your energy for the main prelims exam and mains examination.
Okay, sir. The last question is that, sir, this is a examination which takes quite a lot time. So, sir, there are many instances when we tend to waste our time. Sometimes we are not studying, we are watching movies, or we are enjoying some festivals, etc. And then we feel guilty that so much time has been wasted, and then we are not able to concentrate again. So, how to come out of this cycle that we are not studying, not concentrating, wasting our time, and then again we have to study? So, how did you manage this?
No. You should not think it's like a waste of time, because it should be part of your strategy. For a week, if you are studying for 6 days, 7 to 8, 9 hours, you should have a half day break or one day break, because I the same point before I had discussed, you should have the energy during your peak time. Especially when during mains and prelim examination, to preserve that energy, you have to take breaks in between. You have to socialize yourself with your family, your friends. So you should not think there's a wastage of time. You should think that to revitalize my energy, this break was important. So you should not think like that, because that is also important part of your strategy. In mains examination, I think for 3 months, initially during 2 months, in every Saturday after 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. you used to go to that Jamia Media ground and play cricket, because it gave a break from all those from this stressful library environment or the monotonous thing. So that's very important. There's a normal thing. You should not worry about this that we are wasting our time.
Okay, so, sir, any more thing you would like to add? Any message you want to give to the vets?
Vets or every aspirant, that you should not think that civil service is everything. You should think that civil service is also important and life is also important. You should not take too much thing about, because in this examination the success rate is 1% only. That doesn't mean that you will not prepare. You have to prepare. You have to give best whatever you have. After that, when you have given your best, hopefully that God will help you and you will be selected. If not, I think God must have prepared some plan also. I have seen a lot of my aspirants, lot of my friends who are not selected in this particular the civil service, but they are successful in other parts of the life also. Because in civil services, if you're preparing, you get to know about very diverse things. So and also you become a person who knows how to come out this problem, how to come out of the depression, how to strategize. You become very rational, technical, so you can be successful in another field also. So civil preparation is a life learning lesson also, and if you got selected, it's good. If you are not selected, then it's not an issue. And also one more advice, that after 2.5 years of preparation for particular exam, after that you have to be there should be a plan B, because because by the time you have given 2 years or 2.5 years, if you are a normal graduate, you will be 23, 24. If you are a vet graduate or MBBS, you will be 26, 27. You would have other thoughts in your mind about your employment, your social life, and all that. For that, you have to be a plan B. If you have plan B, if you are selected in some other state service or some other normal job, you will be mentally free. That will enhance your preparation in civil services. So after 2.5 years, you should have a plan for other thing also.
Okay, so I think that was quite a good discussion, sir. We discussed about all the major points which any student would have doubts.
First of all, I would myself like and share this. I would request myself to like and share this channel, and request all the subscribers, all those who are watching, to like, share, and subscribe the channel. Especially, you should share with all those persons who are in this who are preparing for this, because first of all, because it would be helpful for other aspirants, because by knowing the strategy of this, those who are selected, you were to know that main thing of the exam. So you should share and subscribe this channel.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
Thank
And
you.
I'm very grateful to you, sir, that within a very short span of time you agreed to this. And in a very detailed manner, you explained all the things to us. So I'm very thankful to
Thank
you,
you.
sir. So I'll link your Instagram channel also in the description box, so that if any student wants to inquire anything else, they can connect with you directly.
Yes, no issue. There's no issue.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay.
I would like to thank Dr. Bhavin Doctor also. Please, if you like the video, then please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Keep watching Vet's Diary. Have a great day, guys. Happy Holi, and bye bye.